Now,
Oh, we're live again. Let's see. Let's get people on.
let's see if we're live again. I'm going to go ahead and refresh the screen and see if we actually have a screen to show this time. We're checking. Is this going to be the lost episode, Mike?
This could be the lost episode.
Jeez, bro, what's going on with YouTube?
All right. It says we're back on my phone.
Are we on YouTube?
All right. It says we're back on my phone.
All right. I got that. I'm just going to check. I want to see for sure if we're back on. All right, no, let's go.
We are on. We're nice.
On.
Welcome back to the Alamo City Sportscast from the west side of San Antonio. Mike Jimenez, Joe Garcia. This is take two.
Take two.
Take two.
Hey, so something happened, man. We went live, and I guess YouTube, maybe they didn't like us or something. They're trying to cancel us, man.
Trying to cancel. Because we're talking about Shannon Sharpe.
We had a black screen, dude. Nobody heard us.
About Shannon Sharpe being a cochino, right? Shannon Sharpe out there having some sex with some lady. We're debating whether or not this was a fake thing or a real thing or not.
That's why they were saying they could hear Mike grunting because it was just a black screen.
Well, Shannon Sharpe. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about this. So recap for those who
elephant in the room.
We have to restart the show because we did a show for 15 minutes. Have to restart the show because those who are going to click onto the YouTube later on, going to click onto the Spotify later on, are going to be like, well, what the hell just happened?
Yeah.
Shannon Sharpe had an emergency podcast last night. Club Shay Shay with Ocho Cinco got caught because on Instagram Live yesterday he was having sex with a woman. Now you didn't see any of the sex going on, but you hear the dirty talk, you hear the moaning and all of that, and it was probably for about a minute and a half that they were going at it, right?
Yeah.
Shannon Sharpe has 3.2 million followers on Instagram, and he claims that he has no idea how this happened, right? That he claims that he's never been on Instagram Live before. And we were debating earlier whether or not he did this to dispel rumors that he's gay. And he says that he's not, and whether he is or isn't, no big deal either way.
You heard what Ocho Cinco said. He said the same thing you did. He goes, well, there's been these rumors, Shannon.
Yeah.
He goes, I'm kind of glad this happened because they caught you with the Michelle and not a Michael.
Exactly. Well, and he's having a good old time. He's talking dirty to her. She seems to be enjoying herself. He seems to be enjoying himself. And as I said on Twitter yesterday, good for you, Shannon Sharpe. You're in your mid-50s. Good for you.
Best 90 seconds of her life.
You're getting some action, right? Now, for Shannon Sharpe to come out and say that he has no idea how this happened is nonsense, man. Nonsense. Because in order to go to Instagram Live, you need 4 or 5 different things to happen to make it happen. You need to turn on the app. You need to click on Instagram Live. You got to hit record. You got to do all of these different things.
Yeah.
And then he goes on the emergency podcast because he got caught in another lie. The first lie was, I got hacked.
I was hacked.
How do you get hacked on something that's live? That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard of in my entire life. The thing was live.
Well, the other thing to that, Mike, is like I was saying, how do you not know that you went live on Instagram Live? Because he's like, well, I have an iPhone and I'm not good with technology. And you know what? In order to even pull up Instagram Live, what do you got to do? You got to turn on the iPhone, right? Unlock the screen. You're going to go and click on the app deliberately to go ahead and view or scroll or whatever. If you want to go live, you have to deliberately do that. It's not, I dropped my phone and it went live. Come on, man.
That's essentially it right there.
Come on.
It reminds me of the saying that cheating doesn't just happen because it's like a series of events that need to happen, right? You need to go and you need to find somebody, you need to go someplace, you got to take off your clothes, they got to take off their clothes. All of these different things have to happen before it happens, right? It's the exact same thing here. There was not one step. He says, quote unquote, I grabbed my phone and I threw it off to the side and it went live.
Nah, bro.
That is stupid. That is not how it works.
Doesn't work that
Shannon
way,
Sharpe,
man.
3-time Super Bowl champion, Pro Football Hall of Famer, one of the top 5 tight ends in NFL history, 3.2 million followers on Instagram, countless on Spotify and all those for those who have the the who subscribed to his podcast with Club Shay Shay. Here's the thing, Joe. We saw just last month, we saw the Kelsey brothers, Jason Kelsey, Travis Kelsey,
and get that deal.
Sign a 3-year deal for the New Heights podcast for $100 million.
Damn. How much?
$100 million.
That's a lot of zeros.
That is the biggest podcast in all of the United States. Part of it's because Travis Kelsey is dating Taylor Swift, who, by the way, thanked him at the VMA Awards
and his brother Jason Kelsey. I mean, that dude gets around too, man.
Yeah, Jason Kelsey going out there with Bill's Mafia and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, he was on NFL. I saw him on the NFL. He was a commentator.
He's amazing.
Yeah.
Jason Kelsey is really good at what he does. I think Shannon Sharpe looks at the Kelsey brothers and thinks, I can be bigger than them.
Was that
why can't Shannon Sharpe and Ocho Cinco be bigger than the Kelsey brothers?
It's that song from Three Doors Down. Why can't that be me?
Nice.
Oh.
The theme song to American Pie 2.
Why can't that be me?
If I can be like that, I would give anything.
He
just
did
to live one day in your shoes. If I can be like that,
he gave her the best 90 seconds of her life.
Yeah, I think he lasted longer than 90 seconds. And good for him. He's in the mid 50s.
Hey man, Uncle was doing work yesterday, man, grunting.
Yeah.
I mean,
Shannon Sharpe is huge. He had that interview with Cat Williams earlier this year that blew up. It exploded on TikTok. It exploded on Instagram. He is big. He is big league. And we were talking earlier about the fact that Shannon Sharpe can go toe to toe with a Stephen A. Smith, with a Skip Bayless. He's done shows with both of them. He can go toe to toe with other NFL players who have been in the league who are on ESPN or FS1. He does a fantastic job. His takes are very, very good. They're very, very well thought out, well formulated. He's very good at what he does, and he's a great interviewer. And it's weird because he was never like this as a player. He was all right. He was likable. He'd give interviews back in the day when he was catching balls from John Elway. But he has evolved over the last few years, and now he has 3.2 million followers. You cannot tell me that this was hacked. He lied on that.
No, he was
so
not
if
hacked.
he's coming out and saying that this was just an accident, that's bullcrap.
Look at
and you know
this.
what? But good for him. All eyes are on him.
You know what Cat Williams had called Shannon, and he said, Cat Williams called him up and he says, well, I guess you're not gay today. And that's something that Cat would tell Shannon, you know?
Is Shannon Sharpe the Kim Kardashian of sports media?
Oh, definitely.
Is he the Paris Hilton of sports media? Because back in the day, remember the early 2000s, now he didn't show anything, right?
No.
But remember back in the day when Paris Hilton, quote unquote, they had the sex tape that came out, and then you had the Kim Kardashian.
Oh, that's
with
the
Ray
celebrity
J.
thing to do, right? Back in the early 2000s.
In the day, that's what you did.
Yeah.
And some were successful, some were not. You know, you had the Pamela Anderson with Tommy Lee back in the day. They say, oh, these are just our home videos or whatnot. But this was all done for publicity.
This, you know, I was telling Mike too, it was funny. It's like when we were doing the show and the screen was just all black. Y'all couldn't hear or see anything. I was telling Mike off screen, is this going to be the lost episode?
Yeah.
Like some of our best content right off the bat. Nobody heard it, but we do have it being streamed live right now.
Yes.
On the website. So if you were there listening to it live, you heard the whole story.
If you think, do you think that he has any possibility of being fired?
Oh, definitely. You know what? There's rumors abound right now all over social media. We don't know if they're true or not because we haven't officially heard the word from ESPN. But the word on the street is they're looking at ways to get him fired right now because they said he's in violation of his contract.
Now, ESPN has been getting rid of contracts like crazy. And they're paying, what, Stephen A. like $17-18 million a year.
Oh, a lot, dude.
And they're Pat McAfee a lot.
You know who's not getting paid?
Who's that?
Molly
Kiram?
You haven't heard how much she's getting paid. I'm sure they're paying all the other fellas a lot of money, but you haven't heard how much she's getting.
Well, the thing is, this is an excuse to get out of it.
Exactly,
this is an excuse to get out of a contract. Now, Shannon Sharpe did go on to say, quote, obviously I am embarrassed. Someone that is extremely, extremely private, and to have one of your most intimate details, the audio, heard for the entire world to hear, I'm embarrassed for a number of reasons, end quote. And he says he tries to always be professional, and that he tries to be professional both on camera and off camera, and he apologized for the whole incident. But then again, he said, my camera was hacked. My phone was hacked. And again, you see him playing with his phone. You don't see any of the sex. All you hear is the dirty talk. All you hear is the moaning. That's all you hear.
Is that going to be the new thing now that celebrities are going to do? Is this it?
Yeah.
You know? Oh, I didn't know what I was doing. I dropped my phone and accidentally it went live. No, man, that's not how it works. I'm not buying this story that Shannon's saying.
Yeah.
I think he did it on purpose.
Well, Sith comes out and says that he doesn't think that Shannon's in trouble because Vanessa Hudgens didn't get fired. The dad from Wizards of Waverly Place didn't get fired. Didn't even realize there was something involving those two. So Shannon's fine. He doesn't need ESPN. He doesn't need ESPN because he has the name and he has the Club Shay Shay platform already. He's already a company. And that's the problem. Look at what ESPN has done over the last 10 years or so.
Yeah.
They're not creating content anymore.
It's entertainment.
They're gathering other people's content and bringing it onto their platform. Back in the day, Pat McAfee is the most recent one, right? But back in the day, it was Bill Simmons, Grantland, The Ringer, which is now The Ringer. They brought over Bill Simmons and his stuff. Page 2, I think is what they called it.
Who was one of their biggest draws in the morning before they had First Take? Was it Mike and Mike?
Mike and Mike.
Remember that?
But Mike and Mike was a thing before ESPN.
Exactly.
Dan Le Batard's show.
Yeah.
Dan Le Batard's show was on for years before they ever went
Weren't
to
they
ESPN.
on like radio and stuff
in
like
Miami?
that? Yeah.
They're radio in Miami. Then they became their own podcast.
Stu Gatz.
Dan Le Batard, Stu Gatz.
I like their show.
Mike
It's
Ryan.
entertaining, dude. It's funny.
It's amazing, dude.
It's funny.
It was ahead of its time. So Shannon Sharpe is going to be perfectly fine because he has the eyes and ears of the country. And the fact of the matter is that everybody's talking about Shannon Sharpe today. So he's getting what he wanted. What do they say? All publicity is good publicity. And this is the
Look
good
at
case right there.
say nombre, y'all missed Nightcap. No, man, I watched Nightcap. I was watching it as I was working. And we heard what his social media manager went in there and cut the feed. He put out that Shannon was hacked, and Shannon said it was all on him. No, we knew that because even Shannon had said that in his live stream yesterday. You know, hey, this is what his boy did, kind of cut the feed, put out there. He was hacked, but Shannon's like, no. I'm just going to come out and say the truth. That's why he had that emergency live stream with Ocho Cinco, set the record straight. You know, and I think it was a smart thing to do. Like I was telling you, from a PR perspective, isn't it better just to get in front of it and just admit, hey, this is what happened? Because you don't want to be extorted. You don't want people to come back and catch you as a liar. Right? It's better to admit the truth.
And you know, he has publicists.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And for him to come out and say that he didn't know what was going on, he was being hacked, that's the most ridiculous thing that you can ever say. It's awful. But the question becomes, is he doing this on purpose? Because I think that he did. There's so many different things that need to happen. It's not a butt dial. I mean, butt dials happen.
Yeah.
It happened to me the other day. I was driving around, and because sometimes you when you're driving, you touch the screen as opposed to grabbing your phone. And I was trying to hang up, and I accidentally called somebody else.
You butt dialed me once.
I've butt dialed you before.
I was like, Mike?
But do you know what I've never done? I've never butt FaceTimed somebody.
No, man. Doing the cochinos.
Dude, that was all planned.
What happened? If that ever happened to you, what are you going to say? It was the dogs.
It was Duncan.
It was Duncan.
Duncan, yeah. So I don't know, man. So good for him. Good for him.
Man.
Let's talk a little bit of sports. We can talk more about Shay Shay later on. Tonight, Thursday Night Football, Week 2 of the NFL season gets going. You have the Buffalo Bills taking on the Miami Dolphins in Miami. Both teams coming in at 1-0. Miami favored by 2.5 points. Over-under's 48.5. So they're expecting some fireworks. Again, if you have a fantasy football team, please go ahead and make your lineups now because you have Thursday games and a lot of players.
Who you
on
got
Miami,
right off the bat? Bills or Dolphins?
Yeah, I got the Bills.
I got the Bills too, man.
I got the Bills. I just think that Miami's a hard team.
They're
a good team.
They're
They're a good team. They're slightly better than I. They are a good team. The problem is that I trust Josh Allen more than I do Tua.
No lies detected on that one, dude.
And I'll also Josh Allen plays more on primetime than Tua does. It's a Thursday night game. Now, here's the thing, though. There is a belief that teams that play on a Thursday night game, that the home team typically does better because it's a shorter turnaround and they're home. That makes some sense.
You got the hometown crowd.
Got the hometown crowd, but Miami's crowd is trash, dude. It's trash.
They're no Bills Mafia, man.
Right. The Bills coming in 1-0. They beat Arizona 34-28 in Week 1. Miami also coming in at 1-0. Miami, again with Tyreek Hill. That was the big incident last week when Tyreek Hill was was detained.
Yeah.
Before the game for reckless driving and for being an idiot with the officers there. They beat Jacksonville 20-17. So both teams are coming off of very tight victories. I anticipate this being a very, very close game, but I think Buffalo is going to be victorious at the end.
Yeah. And we had an incoming breaking news thing I was going to show here. Look at that. Matt Gomez, thanks, man. He says, breaking news. He says, City Council is voting on a new Mission Stadium today.
San Antonio Missions are looking to move downtown. And I had a lot of people who have reached out to me on social media, predominantly Twitter, basically saying, well, why don't the Missions just stay on the west side?
There ain't nothing there, dude. Have you gone? Have these people been to that side of Highway 90?
Right.
My mother-in-law just lives right around the corner from there, by the way. Right off of Old Highway 90. She's right there at Magnus Lane. And it's near the stadium. You could walk there. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to tell you, man, that area is not highly developed. There's nothing there. It's not an ideal situation to be at because what are you going to do before the game? Are you going to go to a nice restaurant and sit down and have some drinks? No. What are you going to do afterwards?
I mean, what is the nearest restaurant to that place on Highway 90?
God, dude.
Well, the McDonald's across the street at
got Taco
at the gas
Cabana,
station.
Chacho's right there. That's all.
Yeah, by the security service that's up there.
Yeah.
There's nothing to do over there. And again, the Missions have been a west side and south side institution from the get-go. They originally were on the south side. They moved to the west side. I grew up, they were at VJ Key Field over at St. Mary's University for many years.
Back in the day, yeah.
Then they moved to the Wolf. The Wolf is a nice stadium. Don't get me wrong. It's a nice stadium.
It was nice.
But
it's all right.
They're building to go AAA eventually, right? And you need to have a certain stadium size. You need to have certain amenities to be a AAA team if the Missions were to go that route. So KENS5.com has an article right now saying that San Antonio leaders are voting today on a new agreement for a downtown Missions park. Apparently, Major League Baseball set a deadline of October 15 for a binding and detailed commitment for a new stadium. Now, this would cost $160 million. Now, keep in mind, you might ask yourself the question, where is this money coming from? The Missions were sold last year. And I was there when they made the announcement that the Missions have been sold, and you saw the names and the faces of Nolan Ryan, David Robinson, Manu Ginobili. They are the owners of the San Antonio Missions along with other people, right? But they are all owners of this. And you've seen Nolan Ryan, what he's done with the team in Austin, with the team in Corpus. Nolan Ryan wants to put a stamp on this team. And now you have former Spurs legends who are out there as part of the ownership group.
Yeah.
So it's a modern stadium downtown somewhere. And the article here on KENS5.com says that certain things would need to be demolished to make way for the new ballpark. So I don't know if it's eminent domain or not, but they're going to have to take over a couple of buildings to make some room.
They're going to have to get... Well, that's one of the things that they have been talking about is... I believe they've already bought that property. There's an agreement in place already.
And isn't this by what used to be Fox Tech High School?
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So I'm looking at North Flores, between North Flores and... Kingsbury Street is what we're looking at there. So again, the hope would be to have this built for opening day in 2028. The ballpark would have a maximum capacity of 7,500, 4,500 seats, 3,000 where you could be out in the grass somewhere.
And look at you all, man. You all are contributing to the show. That's what I like about this interactivity that we have with the listeners. Matt Gomez letting us know, giving us a tweet, letting you know where to go and find the info. Thanks, man. That's what we appreciate about you guys, that you all really are interactive with the show. You all make the show go. And it's a funny thing here, too, because me and Mike, we sit down here, and you all think we have a script and we have all these notes. What did you tell me today?
We got nothing.
Got nothing, and we truly did have nothing.
Well, it's funny because a lot of Missions fans are saying, well, why can't they just play at the at the Wolf and not do anything? It's because the stadium is not considered to be compliant based on Major League Baseball standards.
Yeah.
So that is not an option. You're either going to renovate an old stadium or you're going to get a new stadium. That's it.
Yeah.
And downtown, bring some people in from the north side, from the east side. Who on the north side goes to a Missions game? Who who in Stone Oak goes to a Missions game?
Nobody.
But if you can go 15 minutes down 281, if you could go 15 minutes down 35 south, go from Walsham and whatnot to back down towards downtown, go to the Pearl to get something to eat, which is maybe a mile away.
A walk, dude.
Yeah. I wouldn't walk it, but it's still a mile away. It's not.
It's a nice evening. You walk with your lady.
It's not that. You're still downtown.
Still there.
But then you also have, you can go to the Houston Street area. You go to the Esquire. You can go to whatever places. It is more convenient for more people in the city to go.
More centralized.
Because right now, on the far west side, dude, not only is there nothing to do there, but I hate to say it, it's also one of the poorest areas of the town.
You're not lying, dude. You go over there to the old Highway 90 area, man.
Yeah.
Come on, dude. You can tell, man. I mean, my wife grew up in that area. Her mom's house is there. Like I said, the suegra, the mother-in-law, lives there.
Where are we going to go? Las Palmas to go eat at the Lubies over there?
There ain't shit out there, man.
$1.
I'm going to be honest. There ain't nothing out there. And the place has been like this for years. They're like, oh, we're going to put the stadium here. Kind of the same concept they had for the AT&T Center, now the Frost Center. Oh, we're going to gentrify. It's going to be gentrification of the neighborhood. Nothing happened.
Yeah.
Nothing ever's going to happen. Mm-hmm. It's time to just say, you know what? It didn't work out, man. We're going to move on. The Wolf is dated. Bad. It's dated. It's just an aging stadium.
It's a great place for high school playoffs to happen.
Yeah, man. You can use it for something else. But for MLB, not MLB, but like AAA, no. It's not going to happen. And you know what? Jeff Garcia was in here, too, with Locked On Spurs. And he asked a question. He put, Joe Mike, does this mean MLB will come to SA?
MLB will never work in San Antonio.
You know what? Why do we say that? Because there ain't no money here, man.
There ain't no money here. There's no baseball fandom here that is of significance. Also, it's 81 games. The NFL would work in San Antonio because it's 8 games, 9 games a season, right? You make
it's
the playoffs.
AAA.
Right. But the NFL works because we're a hyped up NFL city, right? Bunch of Cowboy fans, bunch of Texans fans, bunch of Saints fans. We are here in the city, right? To go fill the Alamo Dome or go fill a brand new dome stadium downtown would be easy. Get 60,000 people. We'd get people from Austin, San Antonio, Corpus, all to go into that stadium. It would be easy for San Antonio to have an NFL team.
Yeah.
But a baseball team with 81 home games, playing teams like the Oakland A's, playing teams like the Minnesota Twins, playing teams like, the Tampa Rays or whatever they're called these days. It's hard to fill seats for that.
I love this comment. Mike gets all the hate when he calls the city poor.
We are poor. We are a poor city. What do? I do finance, right? What did I tell you before the show started? Where am I going to go get business this week? Corpus and Houston.
But you know what was funny, though? When we were talking, right, and you had called the city poor, what happened? We made the current. And what did the writer do? He was agreeing with you.
He was like, Michael's just talking hard truths, This is not sugarcoating things.
I thought that was hilarious. I'm like, everybody's mad at Mike. Oh, Mike called the city poor, and then the writer of the current. Oh, was he wrong? Oh God, dude!
It's funny because people don't like hearing that. I had a conversation with.
That's why we can't have nice things, Mike.
Well, I mean, there's a brain drain. We I don't know if you noticed, but one of the best companies in San Antonio was recently bought out by a city outside of San Antonio. You had, if we can go 2 bucks, by the way.
Yeah.
If you can go, New Star Energy was bought out, right?
They're not even. I don't think they're in existence anymore. They went under.
Well, they got bought out by Sunoco.
Yeah.
Right. So now you have a lot of those jobs either gone, or they have been moved to Houston, or they're going to be gone in a year. Right. So they're gone, and that was a very good employer there by the Rim. Right. Very beautiful building. They did a lot of work. They did a lot of charitable works for homeless shelters downtown. They did an amazing job. They're gone. AT&T headquarters. Where did it go? Went from San Antonio to Dallas, right?
Look at Midtown Texas. Keep San Antonio ghetto.
Well, I know if Austin is keep Austin weird, keep San Antonio poor.
Oh, man.
Right? Is that what we're doing at this point? Because here's the thing about it. There's a brain drain. Joe, you went to West Campus High School, right?
Off of Ray Ellison, man.
We have Spernandez. We have John Dyer.
Our friend Angel.
He
went to West Campus.
Okay, they went to West Campus, right?
Yeah.
But John Dyer, I went to Holmes.
John Dyer, Fernandez, John Jay.
John Jay, right?
Yeah.
Did they stay? They stayed in San Antonio, but did they stay there? Did I stay in the Holmes area?
What does that saying go? Once I got my money, I was gone.
And at some point in San Antonio, I look at my daughter Gabby. My daughter Gabby's in Baton Rouge, right?
Yeah.
I told her and I had family who got pissed off when I said this.
Oh, Lord.
Do not stay in San Antonio.
It'll never let you go.
Do not go to Texas State. Because I went to Texas State, and I was like, you're a straight A student. What are you doing the path that I did? Go someplace else. And fortunately, it was COVID time. It was difficult to get scholarships. She got a lot of scholarships, and LSU rolled out the red carpet for her, and she graduated from LSU Honors College.
Hey,
I bring that up because
great, man.
I bring that up because I look at her now as a news reporter in Baton Rouge, and possibly
she's a
going
contributor to the community.
She is, and I tell her, do not come back home.
No, you could visit, but don't come.
Don't come back home.
No.
Come back when you're 30 and ready to start a family. Great at that point.
Yeah.
But if you want to make a name for yourself, you don't do it here. Dude, I look at the most successful people from high school, right?
Are they here?
The ones who are the top 10, they ain't here.
They're gone.
They're in Chicago. They're in Austin.
Yeah.
They're in New York. There's a brain drain. At some point, if you want to make money in the city, you kind of leave.
Look at this, man. Tex-Mex Frank. Agree with Mike. Sports are getting more and more expensive to attend. If we ever get an NFL team, I will be holding a barbecue plate sale to buy tickets. And that's the thing. There's no lies detected in that. So you're going to have to go ahead and pay. Like, you want to go and park, right? At Jerry World.
Yeah.
$150 just to park, right?
And you know what? It's only a Jerry World, man, because I go to Saints games, I go to Texans
It's cheaper.
games. It ain't there.
Yeah. But I'm saying in Jerry World is $150. So you gotta think, right?
They hold up Cowboy fans with a gun to the head,
Oh,
like
Jerry
the
knows they're
suckers
gonna
that they
pay.
are, like the suckers that they
Jerry
are.
knows they're gonna pay the money, dude. So the thing is, let's say they build an NFL stadium here, and we get an NFL team, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Stadium's gonna run you what? Couple $1 billion, and who's gonna pay for that? Taxpayer, right?
Right.
And other helps that they get, right? They're gonna get other helps from the government, whatever. But the thing is, once that stadium's been built, you ain't gonna park for free. Even in the surrounding area, when you want to park, you might not be paying $50 or $70 to park there at the football stadium, but the surrounding area, what do you think the prices are going to be? Not $20.
Right.
Be like $30, $40 just to park. Okay, you want to get inside the stadium, you want to get a seat, even if it's a nosebleed. Hey, it's all we can afford. What were you saying? We're a poor city. How much do you think a ticket's going to cost to watch an NFL game here in San Antonio?
At least $150 for a cheap
$150?
seat.
Exactly. And that doesn't even include your food or drink.
And people will pay it.
Not everybody, though.
No, for an NFL game, people will pay it.
But-
It's kind of like the movies, right?
Yeah.
Going to the movies is expensive, right? I'm supposed to go see Beetlejuice this weekend, right? What do you pay for the tickets, Joe?
Oh, Beetlejuice probably like $10, $12.
$10, $12, right?
Yeah.
It's $24.
Yeah.
You and I are kind of bougie when it comes to movies. I know you go to the
Flicks?
Westlakes, but we go to Flicks, right?
When we want to have a good time, we go to Flicks.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's say it's me and a date, right? So
Yeah.
we spend $24 for tickets, and then we go and we get a couple of drinks at the Flicks
Over a bill.
over a bill, right?
Yeah.
So and let's say it's a family of 4,
Oh, man.
easily
150.
120, 130, right?
Yeah.
The point about it is this: is that you have to be very selective in what you do if you're paycheck to paycheck, right? If you're paycheck to paycheck, you're not going to go just be like, hey, you know what? Let's go to the movies and let's just go see what's there. Remember back in the day, we'd go to the movies and we'd be like, what's showing? I don't know. Let's just go see what they're showing.
Yeah. See what's on.
When times are tough and you're paycheck to paycheck and you want to go out and have one of these outings, you know for what movie you're going to go do it for.
Yeah.
You're saving for Beetlejuice. You're saving for Barbie, or you're saving for Oppenheimer last year, or you're saving for the new Gladiator movie or the new
It's
Joker
the
movie.
experience in the theater.
Right.
Man.
So, but that's what I'm saying about the NFL. NFL comes to San Antonio, people are going to save or put on a credit card for that particular experience. San Antonio can fill a stadium 70,000. San Antonio can fill a stadium of 100,000 because all the Mexicanos that are here are football fans.
They're diehard football fans. And you know what's going to happen? If San Antonio ever did get an NFL team, I bet they would fill the stadium. But you know what? The ticket prices for when the Cowboys came a-calling, going to go through the roof. And how many of the local fans do you think we're going to see there? It's going to be a sea of blue and silver, blue and white, Cowboy fan.
Right.
Cowboy fan all over the place.
Well, it takes a generation for things to take hold.
Yeah.
I mean, look at UTSA football. You know, I bet you all the fans that are at UTSA games that go to the Alamo Dome, I bet you more than half of them are cheering for UT this weekend. I bet you if you went to the Alamo Dome and they had 15, 20,000 people over there and you asked them who you cheering for, UT or UTSA, half of them will say UT.
Look at Seth Elias, just for example. He says he went to main event last Friday, and man, a family of three, $80+ bucks.
Yeah.
After food and drink, and you go ahead and get the card to play some games with your kids. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's the price of an outing, you know?
Yeah. We mentioned my daughter Gabby, by the way. I want to show you something real fast. You know who Jim Cantori is?
No, I don't know who that is.
If you can show my screen, Jim Cantori is of the Weather Channel. And do you like this job that he has right here? They bring him to the eye of the storm. My daughter was joking about the fact that she's been told that Jim Cantori went on vacation, will go to the beach, and people will scatter because they know that bad weather follows him, or he goes where the storm is.
Jeez.
I've been in a hurricane before. I've been in a Cat 3 storm, and it's kind of like that. My daughter was in Baton Rouge as, Francine made its way inland.
Man, Gabby wouldn't be able to stand in that weather, dude.
Oh, she'd fly away like a kite.
Like,
But Jim Cantori going out there doing this, he's been doing this for like the better part of 20 years at least. I remember him in I want to say the 90s doing this.
He's got great form, Mike. He's bending those knees.
He's out wide with his legs, right? But beyond all that, the cameraman who gets the shot, the microphones are amazing, man. For 105 mile per hour winds, and you can hear him just perfectly. I love when the Weather Channel does it. You know what? Those big booty girls from the Mexican weather channels are not doing this, dude. Their skirt would fly up. Props to Jim Cantori. I'm a big fan. Big fan.
Man. Look at this.
Oh, wait, one more thing. One more thing. Before the storm hit, there's Mike the Tiger from LSU.
God, man.
Waiting for the rain.
He's probably waiting to escape, man. He's waiting to escape.
Trying to pull a daisy.
He's gonna escape, dude. Look at this. Tex-Mex Frank says, "You remember when the Spurs did promos on tickets through Pizza Hut?
Yeah.
NFL comes to SA. They better have some ticket promos at Fred's Fish Fryer Culebra Meat Market." You know what's funny? That we forget not too long ago, right?
Yeah.
When you used to get a pizza, was it from like Pizza Hut or something? What would the pizza come with? Free tickets to a UTSA game.
Yeah.
They ain't doing that no more. You know?
No, most definitely.
Or you get a bucket of chicken, I remember, and you would get free tickets to the UTSA game.
Dude, okay. You mentioned a bucket of chicken. Can I tell you something real fast? There was a time when I went with my dad to the Hemisphere Arena to go watch the Spurs play.
Jeez, you took a bucket of chicken.
Somebody took a big old thing of churches, and they were having a big old meal there. Like no one cared at the Hemisphere Arena back in the day.
That's living it up. That's doing it right, man. Right there, man. Getting that bucket of chicken. You don't have to pay for the concessions.
Mm-hmm.
You could be selling meals right on the spot. You know, $10-15, 2-piece. What do you want? Light or dark meat? We got it all. You know, that's beer money right there.
I'm looking at College Football Report right now. It says wins projected in the regular season according to ESPN FPI for Power 5 teams. And UTSA is not included in this. They have Texas tied for number 1 for the most projected wins this year at 11.3, along with Ohio State.
Yeah.
They have Bama at 10.3, Georgia at 10, and then several teams at 9, including Ole Miss, Tennessee, Penn State, Miami, USC, UCF. That'd be K-State and Louisville, and then also Clemson and Missouri.
Yeah, Tim Gonzalez had tagged us also on the X, so I'm going to show what he had tagged us in. And I saw this earlier, too, as well, on ESPN. They were reporting, breaking, the Pac-12 is officially adding Boise State, Colorado State, San Diego State, Fresno State, starting in 2016. The conference has announced, so the thing is, can they still be called the Pac-12?
No, that's a yawn, man.
I mean, come on.
Come on, man. Colorado State, it's a big yawner because When I think of Pac-12, who do you think of? I mean, I say Pac-12, give me a school. I think of 3 schools only. I think of USC, I think of UCLA, I think of Stanford, and I think of Oregon, right? And where are they now? So that's the problem with it right now is that it got scattered too much. That league got decimated. It's like the Southwest Conference, man. Southwest Conference was great back in the day.
Yeah.
But now not anymore, man. I mean, it kind of splintered off, and I'm looking at what the Pac-12 is right now, right?
I thought you were looking at some cochinos there. I was like, man, Demon Mike time.
Pac-12 right now has 2 teams, Oregon and Washington State. Because you look at the Big Ten, who did the Big Ten poach? The Big Ten poached Oregon, the Ducks, who are ranked number 9 in the nation. They poached the number 11 USC Trojans. They poached the Washington Huskies. They poached the UCLA Bruins. So you're telling me that those 4 schools that you mentioned are going to bring back the Pac-12? It doesn't make it a Power 5 school anymore because they quote unquote the Pac-12. If they moved Texas State over there, it wouldn't be a Power 5 school. It just isn't that. That's just not it.
Out of these 4 schools, the only school that really has any merit to me that I've heard of before, Boise State.
Boise State.
That's it.
And it's just in one sport.
And they're all right.
Blue field and all.
Yeah. The other teams, I mean, come on. Colorado State, do you care?
Yeah. Tonight, Thursday Night Football, Bills, Dolphins. I got the Bills. Vegas is saying that it's going to be a high-scoring game, over under 48 points.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and take the Bills tonight. I'm going to say 34-17.
Think so?
Yeah. I think they'll run away with it. Tyreek Hill might get 1 long touchdown, but I think Josh Allen's going to run wild on this game. This is a team that plays each other a lot. Cowboys and Saints this weekend. Give me your confidence level, Joe. Scale of 1 through 10. 10 being most confident that the Cowboys are going to win this game. Cowboys coming off a big victory on the road against the Cleveland Browns. The Saints thumped the Carolina Panthers, scored 47 points in week 1. Your confidence level, 1 through 10. 10 being the greatest confidence, 1 being the lowest confidence. What level are you at right now?
15.
15? Well, the spread's going down. The spread was 6.5 at one point. Now it's down to 6, so there's a little bit of money going towards the Saints. The over-under is 46.5. That kind of means that they expect this to be a relatively decent scoring game. That would basically mean that Vegas believes that the Cowboys are going to win 26-20.
How good is the Saints defense?
27-20. Defense is fine.
They all right?
They're slightly above average. It's one of those things where I think the Saints got dissed this past week because everyone's is disregarding their last victory because they're like, well, Carolina sucks, right? Carolina does suck.
2-win team, Mike.
Carolina does suck.
Yeah.
But you put up 47 points and you showed a proficient offensive line. You have a different offensive coordinator. And when I've told people like, hey, we have a Kubiak now as the offensive coordinator, it's different.
Look who just followed me right here on the X.
Who's that?
I'm going to show you right now. Gabby Jimenez.
Nice.
I guess got to follow back now.
Yeah.
Following you back, Gabby.
Gabby with the Advocate newspaper there in Baton Rouge. Looking at the Cowboys there, my confidence level for the Saints right now, I'm not going to say it's a 5, right? Because the Cowboys should win this game.
Yeah.
The Cowboys have a more consistent team. The Cowboys, since they may not have a running game necessarily,
they don't, man.
We saw Zeke Elliott, Rico Dowdle.
It's running back by committee, dude.
Yeah,
it's not one guy that stands out.
Nothing.
Nah.
But they at least have Dak there. Dak's a better quarterback than Derek Carr.
Then Carr's going to say quarterback battle.
Derek Carr had 3 touchdown passes, no interceptions in the last game.
But you know what's going to be funny, though? What if Carr outperforms Dak because the Cowboys are going to cowboy? He throws no interceptions, and Dak starts throwing interceptions off the bat.
It's about turnovers. And the Saints have future Hall of Famer Cam Jordan on the other side. That's what scares
Cam Jordan
wreaks havoc, man. That guy's so good. And then you look at on the offensive side, Taysom Hill doing his thing.
Well,
but the Saints have a brand new offense.
They do, man.
So if there's anything that you look at and you think to yourself, well, that's a hiccup for the Saints, is the fact that it's a new offense. It looked good. The offensive line held true. They've got 3 first-round draft picks on the offensive line, Joe, from the last 4 years there with the Saints.
Yeah.
Can they prevent Micah Parsons from making noise? You have a rookie a second-year player and a third-year player. Though they were all first-round draft picks, you have them on the offensive line for the Saints. Can Micah Parsons be stopped, or do they have to double-team him?
I think he's going to warrant the double team. Micah Parsons is that guy, and he's going to wreak havoc on the defensive end. So they're going to have to go ahead and double him, no doubt. But the thing is, the Cowboys, I think, is going to come down to corner play. Mm-hmm. If Carr goes ahead and sees somebody open downfield, he's going to take a shot.
Right.
And if the Cowboys corners aren't up to the billing, to cover their guy, he gone.
Question becomes Jake Ferguson, the tight end for the Cowboys. Is he going to play or not?
I don't think he is. I think still nursing that injury. I think they're going to keep him out a couple games.
Here's the Week 2 injury report right now on DallasCowboys.com. You have Brandon Cooks, who was held out of practice because he needed some rest. Jake Ferguson did not practice at all because he has a knee injury. Limited practice for C.J. Godwin, a good one rather, Eric Kendricks, and DeMarcus Lawrence and Zach Martin. So it looks like it's just one player that's kind of, Marshawn Nealon, John Stevens Jr., and Jake Ferguson. So look at Ferguson and Stevens Jr., both with injuries that did not practice. Both are tight ends.
Look at Sam Salinas. He says Ferguson is out for a few games. I knew that. He was going to be missing a couple games. But I think Ferguson hurts the Cowboys, because that's a target Dak had, and now he can't go to him. And he kind of reminded me of a Novacek kind of player, big guy, get him the ball. He's good for a couple yards, but nobody was like Novacek, dude. He was squirrely, man. Mm-hmm. You'd get the ball, and he was always, they're going to tackle him. He'd go and sprint for another 2-3 yards.
Dude, the guy was amazing, so strong. Dude. He had a strong forearm. He would get people off of him. Hey, tonight we got some, and Tim Gonzalez was reminding us, but I was already on top of the ball, man. I was already on top of it.
Yeah, he's asking us a question. He goes, Mike and Joe, I'm going to ask the question. I asked the guys from Sweep the League the other night on their show, and he's going to ask us the same question. Is the Texas State a trap game against Arizona State tonight?
Well, Texas State coming off a huge victory over UTSA. I mean, throwing down more than 40 points and just manhandling the Roadrunners.
Yeah.
UTSA taking on Arizona State. Both teams at 2-0. It is in San Marcos. The spread was 2 points in favor of Arizona State, but now the line is off. So when a line is off, there's an injury somewhere. So we got to figure out what that is. But that kickoff is going to be on ESPN at 6:30. They still have an over-under of 60.5, so they're expecting some fireworks tonight. But if Texas State gets this game, 3-0, shouldn't they get some votes for the top 25 at that point?
They could.
So CBS has a rankings, and I'm looking it up right now. CBS has a rankings called the 134, which is the 134 teams that are in college football, right? So you know how we have the top 25 that the AP does. They do all the way down to 134. So Texas is at number 2 behind Georgia. They have Ohio State at 3, Bama at 4, Ole Miss at 5. And then round out the top 10, they've got Penn State, Tennessee, Miami, Oregon, and USC. Now, as far as Texas State is concerned, they have the Aggies at number 24. Really? The Aggies at 24? Is that right?
What have the Aggies done, dude?
I'm looking for the rest of the list here. They usually have the 134 all set aside here. I'll find it, but I want to see where Texas State is. Oh, here it is. Here it goes. Texas State.
What is it?
Number 46. All right. So you have the number 46 team in the Texas State Bobcats.
How far did UTSA fall after that debacle?
UTSA is currently listed at...
They're probably 50 plus.
67.
Ooh.
And they're going to fall even further down. Again, there's 134 teams. 67 is literally right in the middle.
That's not bad.
They're average, according to... And last year, they had them in the top 40 most of the year.
Like I said, I'm still a UTSA fan because my money goes to who? UTSA, because my daughter's going to their college.
We're a school if you want to know who the bottom 5 are. Temple, Kent State, UMass, Kennesaw State, who lost to UTSA earlier, and Akron.
Hey, I'm going to share this, too, because we're going to get into a little bit of entertainment news here. But before we do that, we're going to go ahead and give some love to MCS General Contracting, only because I did see Mr. Chris Leha here in the chat. MCS General Contracting, more than 30 years of combined experience in concrete placement. They are the best in the business. Honest pricing, high quality work. They get going on house foundations, driveways, concrete patio decks. If you want to extend the deck, extend the driveway. If you're a business and you need to put together a slab, a parking lot, or other concrete placement services or sidewalks, reach out to MCS General Contracting at 210-774-9155. They're confident in their skills, so give Chris Leha over at MCS General Contracting a call at 210-774-9155. And thank you for being a sponsor of this show.
Again, I'm a client myself, man. MCS does a fantastic job. Again, if you need a any type of slab, you need a tennis court done, a basketball court, parking lot, they can figure it out. Swimming pool,
pickleball court,
they can figure it out. They do a fantastic job, and I've been a customer of theirs since earlier this year.
Amazing. So what's the saying with MCS General Contracting?
Don't do it cheap. Do it right.
Do it right the first time. But they bring you, that's the home of the diamond hard concrete. Mm-hmm. So if you want it done right the first time, call MCS General Contracting.
And let's show some love to Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs and Ken's 5 as well.
Sure. And we're going to see what he's got cooking. He's got some stuff coming today.
Yeah, we're going to talk about it.
Locked On Spurs is your daily Spurs podcast, hosted by Jeff Garcia, the lead Spurs writer for Ken's 5 San Antonio. Jeff has a healthy plethora of guests all the time on the Locked On Spurs podcast. You can also follow Jeff on threads at Jeff G Ken's 5 SA. You can also follow Jeff on Twitter at Jeff G Spurs Zone. So make sure you go ahead and give Jeff a follow not only on threads and Twitter, but also on YouTube at youtube.com/@Locked On Spurs. This is where you're going to be able to find the replay of the Locked On Spurs podcast. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share.
That's right. That's right. He was mentioning yesterday that Stephon Castle is going to be making his way to Del Rio. Yeah. So you can go to kens5.com. You can go to Jeff Garcia's Twitter or Threads accounts over at Jeff G Spurs Zone to find out more about what he had going on. He had posted photos, and he mentioned it yesterday, of Stephon Castle at the White House as the Yukon Huskies were honored for winning the national championship. Stephon Castle looking very good, man. Him with Donovan Kling in there,
of course,
the number 46 jersey, handing it to President Joe Biden.
What an honor for this college team, right? So you go ahead and you win the national championship, then you get to go to the White House as your consolation prize after you win the national championship. Mm-hmm. Get to rub elbows with the president, Yeah. Go to the White House, check things out. It's a good experience as a kid, man. Something they'll probably always remember.
Yeah, it's amazing. And, I don't care what the politics are. Just going to the White House is amazing. I remember back in the day, my parents took me to the White House. This was before 9/11.
Yeah.
We got to walk in and out of the place.
Before they had the fence up. Yeah, man. I went about a year and a half ago. Me and the wife went because my niece was graduating, right? Mm-hmm. And they live over in Maryland, Ellicott City, Maryland. So we go over there for the to visit and all that. And Washington D.C. is not too far away, so we'd make the trek over there, and we saw everything, dude. We saw the Lincoln Memorial. We went to the White House. Everything, dude. We even just checked out the city for the day and all that, and we got to eat those sandwiches that I like over at Potbelly's.
Nice.
I love Potbelly's, dude.
I've never been, but I see the signs
Good stuff,
all the time when I travel. Jeff Garcia also posted an article about an hour ago about DeMar DeRozan, talking about the benefits of Victor Wembanyama getting coached by Pop. DeRozan making headlines yesterday by coming out and saying that he believes that he could have won an NBA championship in Toronto, that Toronto did not need Kawhi Leonard. Saying that, basically saying, look, LeBron left. Like the team that beat us, that we couldn't get over the hump on, was the Miami Heat or any team involving LeBron James, whether it be Cleveland or whatever.
I don't know about that, man.
And he's basically saying, look, we could have won without him being there.
What happened when the Toronto Raptors went up against the Philadelphia 76ers? What shot is Kawhi Leonard remembered for? That going out of bounds, hitting that three.
It bounced around and spun in.
Went in. Could DeRozan do that? He's not a guy that shoots threes, man.
Right.
That would have been the scenario. You went up against Joel Embiid and the 76ers. A really close game. With DeMar DeRozan, would you trust him to go ahead and knock that shot down?
Right.
Real talk, man. Not discounting the guy. I love me some DeMar DeRozan. would you have trusted him to make that shot?
Agreed. Midtown Texas coming out saying White House of Del Rio is crazy.
Oh, God. I'm going to show this, too. This was funny to me, man. So I'm going to share this. A little bit of entertainment, just to have fun with it.
Yeah.
This is something that they showed on the X by somebody with the X handle of Evil Dead Thing. It says, who deserves the final spot or final space on horrors Mount Rushmore? So they got the great Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees, Friday the 13th. And who you got there, man?
Well, they have Mike Myers, right?
Mike Myers, man. So it's like, okay, you got that trifecta. Who else would you put on there?
Well,
would you put Pennywise on there?
Pennywise is a good one. It's not going to be that guy from Scream who goes, I'm feeling a little bit woozy out here.
Oh, God, man.
So it's not going to be him. You could. I mean, when I think of scary movies,
horror icon,
a horror icon. I mean, those are the three right there.
That's the trifecta, but Pennywise, I would put him on there, man.
Pennywise is a good 4. He really is.
Look at Sean Quintero. That's a good one. Candyman.
That is a
Puro
good one.
pinche Chucky.
Chucky. Is there a female one? Who's the scariest female horror person? Would it be what about the girl from The Exorcist?
Oh, there you go.
But she didn't actually kill anybody. She was just freaking scary.
Pinhead. Somebody said Pinhead. All right.
Pinhead's
Hellraiser.
a good one. Okay. I wouldn't say Chucky. Although Chucky did have the greatest line. It's when Jennifer Tilly looks at him and says, do you have a rubber? He goes, baby, I'm all rubber.
Oh, man. Chucky's on another
level, man.
Cochino little bastard, dude. He was doing the cochinos before Shannon Sharpe. I forgot about that, dude. That was the Bride of Chucky, right? Like part 3 or something like that. Yeah.
I think Pennywise is probably the answer.
I mean, he's iconic, man.
He is.
That It series, if you ever watched, even the old one.
But can he be up there with a balloon, a red balloon? Just
hey, I like that, man. I like that. I think that Leatherface, they're saying. What about Leatherface?
That's not a bad one. Not a bad one, but I still think Pennywise is it. Because Pennywise is it. Get it?
Yeah.
Pennywise came back in the sense that it was most recently remade, and they had the new movie. So it's top of mind now.
Yeah. We need to have one with the monster genre, right? Mm-hmm. Like the monsters, monster movies, iconic monster movies. Who would you put up there on your Mount Rushmore? We got to do one.
Give an example of a monster movie because I didn't watch.
For example, monster movies would be like Godzilla, right?
Oh, okay.
Right? King Kong. Like who would you put up there? Like, would you put the monster from what was that, Cloverfield, up there? Iconic monster movies. Like something that really scared you. The dog from Cujo. I'm just playing.
The dog from Cujo. Godzilla only had that nuclear breath that he
atomic breath.
Yeah, and it only went in one angle, and because it only went in one angle, as powerful as it was, it was so direct at what he did that it was kind of weak.
Yeah, I mean it was good. I mean I would put Godzilla up there. I mean King Kong.
No, he's up there.
Iconic.
And they fought each other, right? I mean it is what it is.
Look at that. You want a female species? Remember that one? What was that other one that they had? Splice. That was
Splice.
Dude. If you've never seen that movie, you should watch it. You watch it and then tell me what you think about it.
Right.
We'll do that in October, right? For Horror Month, right? Mm-hmm. But that's one of the ones that I want you to see. But we are going to probably revisit maybe 1 or 2 older movies and check those out. And do they still hold up?
Yeah.
Well, we'll give our takes on it.
Hey, we have some good news to report. If you want to show my screen,
sure.
I thought this was amazing. John Bon Jovi was in Nashville, and he's considered to be a little bit of a hero. I'm sure he doesn't want to hear that title because he found a woman in duress, and she was threatening to jump off of a bridge over there. It's the Siegenthaler pedestrian bridge in Music City, which is Nashville. It was around 6 p.m. a couple of days ago. And I believe he was filming a music video at the time. Now, John Bon Jovi opened up a bar there on Broadway Street, or right off of Broadway Street, where all that partying goes on.
Yeah.
And it's called John Bon Jovi's, right? I went there the week after it opened.
Was it good?
This summer. It was actually really nice. It was one of my favorite places to go. There's video, and we'll have to wait a few seconds for it.
Wait for the commercial. I thought I was going to be the guy. Call the force.
Yeah. So there's video of Bon Jovi walking on over. Again, you can see all the cameras there.
Yeah.
And John Bon Jovi sees this woman who is perched on that position that people take when they jump off of bridges, which is where they're holding back, kind of contemplating whether or not they want to take their life or not.
Yeah,
and John Bon Jovi walks over and talks to her. And Bon Jovi is known as being a pretty nice guy, pretty decent guy. A very non-threatening pose that he has here. You know, he didn't run over there to go grab her or anything like that. Just basically just said, hey, let's talk.
Yeah, she could be having a bad day, man. Sometimes people just want to be heard, man.
Right.
Yeah.
And some of the comments that were being made were very, we're using iconic lines from John Bon Jovi's songs, like take my hand, we'll make it, I swear. Living on a prayer, all that stuff. But it's nice to see Bon Jovi going out there and taking the time to meet with somebody who's going through something bad.
Yeah.
And, they did mask her face over there. He goes over, gives her a hug, and they pull her over.
Like, come on, man.
Get her some help.
Yeah, dude.
And this happened, I believe they said it happened September 10th on the evening over there. And he's not celebrating what he did. He's just letting people know. And I look at people coming up to him with their hands behind their back. Very, 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 very approachable. Non-threatening.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
You know what? He probably wouldn't even say anything. And this wouldn't even come out if it wasn't for the camera.
Right.
We would never know.
Now, this does appear to be surveillance video.
Yeah.
That's going out there.
He probably didn't even know there was a camera on the bridge or nothing.
Yeah.
Just
kind of did what he did.
Yeah.
So let's talk about John Bon Jovi. What is the greatest Bon Jovi songs? So I'm gonna give you a list of his hit songs from back in the day. So in 2000, he had the song "It's My Life." That was big.
Big.
Early 90s, "Bed of Roses."
There is a Bon Jovi song that I really do like.
Okay, tell me off the bat.
That song from Young Guns, "Blaze of Glory."
Now that wasn't a Bon Jovi song. That was a John Bon Jovi song.
Exactly. I was gonna say that was a John Bon Jovi song, not the band Bon Jovi. But it's a banger, dude.
Now, what I like about that song is that people believe that it is Richie Sambora who's playing guitar, right? And it's not him, because it's not Bon Jovi that's doing it. I think it's Jeff Beck that is performing.
Yeah.
It's Jeff Beck on guitar.
They just assume,
Well, Jeff Beck is one of the greatest guitarists of all time.
Oh, no doubt.
Blues and rock and all that he's done. Jeff Beck passed away last year at the age of 78. Again, one of the greatest guitarists of all time. But it's not Sambora. But it sounds like it's something Sambora would do, because Wanted Dead or Alive has a very similar sound to it, and Sambora was part of that. Now, the lore behind that particular song, "Blaze of Glory," was that Bon Jovi was asked, "Can you write a song for Young Guns 2?"
Oh yeah, man.
And no, they asked for permission to use "Wanted Dead or Alive" as the theme song of the song of the movie. That movie came out early 90s.
Early 90s.
So that Bon Jovi hit was maybe 4 or 5 years old at the time. And Bon Jovi said, "I appreciate that, but it doesn't fit what you guys are doing, because what is that song about? On a steel horse I ride." It ain't an actual horse, the bus he's talking about.
Yeah.
He's talking about touring the country and being on the road, Wanted Dead or Alive.
They just said, "Oh, it's Wanted Dead or Alive." Kind of fits the bill, but not really,
So he basically says, "Can I write a new song? Tell me about this new movie." Correct me if I'm wrong, but John Bon Jovi was actually in Young Guns 2. He had a scene in there. He gets shot and killed.
Yeah, I think it went a little cameo.
So he wrote "Blaze of Glory," and very iconic song. I love that song. I will say that's top 3 for me. Other Bon Jovi songs, though. I remember back in the day, my sisters were really into "Runaway." That's a great song. "She's a little runner, runner, run away."
Yeah, and there's got some names here being thrown around here in the chat. Dead Aid. And then Mario Cavazos is saying, "I'll Be There For You" is a good one.
Oh, that's a great song.
Yeah.
"Didn't mean to miss your birthday, baby." So I'm on ultimateclassicrock.com, and they have ranked John Bon Jovi's, this is albums. I'm looking for songs. Okay, let's see here.
Slippery when wet.
Which, by the way, is a trash bag. That's the cover with Slippery When Wet written on it, off of misty water. It's weird. 92.9.
Oh my God.
92.9. Earlier this year, ranked the top 35 Bon Jovi songs, and I want to get to the top 10. Let's get to the top 10. Wanted Dead or Alive better be on there. Okay, number 10. Number 10, they have. Ooh, Never Say Goodbye. It's a good song, but that's not it. Okay, so here we go. Number 9. Oh, they're all out of order. Always they
Jeez.
have. Look what they did there.
What's going on?
It was out of order. They have One Wild Night from 2001. Never heard of it.
All right.
They have the song Always. Carla Gugino's in that video.
Yeah.
Nugget today still. She was on Entourage back in the day, but she was in this particular video, Always from 1994. At number 8, Runaway. She's a little runaway. It's one of their first songs. I'll Be There For You is ranked number 7. That's from the New Jersey album back in 1988.
Yeah.
Keep the Faith from 1992. It's My Life is ranked number 5 according to 92.9
I remember
Rock.
that one.
Number 4, You Give Love a Bad Name. Shot through the heart. You're to blame. Sam Salinas saying Carla Gugino is a total nugget. See, people like the word nugget. I don't care what people say. Number 3, Bad Medicine. Your love is like bad medicine. Bad medicine is what I
think
need.
people don't know that that's Bon Jovi singing that if they hear it.
Yeah.
They just say, hey, this is a catchy jam. I like this jam. But who sings it? They wouldn't be able to tell you.
Yeah. There ain't no doctor that can cure my disease.
Yeah.
Number 2, Living on a Prayer from Slippery When Wet. And number 1, Wanted Dead or Alive. You really can't go wrong with Wanted Dead or Alive or I'll Be There For You or Living on a Prayer. There's too many good songs, man.
But my favorite's still that Blaze of Glory, man.
Now, is Bon Jovi an artist that you think to yourself, it's not cool to listen to?
Nah, dude, he's all right. I mean, why wouldn't you listen to him?
I like Bon Jovi. Congratulations to him, or actually, thank you to him.
Saving a life, man.
Yeah.
Doing good deeds, you know?
It was great, man. It was great. Let's give some love to me. If you want to show my number there. 210-508-0369. I will travel to help people when it comes to financial things. Now, when I say help with financial things, I'm not giving you guys money. You're giving me money. You're giving me money to invest.
You're not a loan shark.
I'm not a loan shark. I'm not consolidating crap. I help people plan for their retirement. I help people strategize when it comes to not only retirement, but life insurance, disability, and long-term care. Some people have pensions. Hey, man, there are people out there who have pensions who work for school districts, right? Texas
they
Teachers
sure
Retirement
do.
System. Some people work for companies like AT&T or Koch Industries, or they work for Valero, and they have pensions and want to know how to handle that and how to have things complement, whether it be a 401k or an IRA. Some people have IRAs out there or have old 401ks and would like to have someone manage it. Why not have me do it? Been doing this for 19 years, since 2005. Go to brokercheck.org, look up Michael Jimenez, and you'll see who I work for. You'll see how many disclosures I have, which is 0, which means there have been no complaints ever made or filed against me. Again, if you need help with your retirement strategy, if you need help with your planning when it comes to life insurance or disability or long-term care, give me a call. Man, some of these plans are very intricate, man. Last night I was talking to a guy who was looking at buying property. And he was like, what should I do? Because I have all this money coming in from the sale of a property. What should I do from that sale? And we were talking about things that he could do. And then he was like, okay, help me with my retirement. And I brought up life insurance because he has a new mortgage. It's stuff like that, man. We have a conversation about money. People ask, what do you do for a living? I talk money. That's what I do. I talk money. I talk sports and pop culture.
Yeah. Life insurance, you know? Health insurance. You need some help? Point you in the right direction.
Again, 210-508-0369. Again, 210-508-0369. Hey, the number was 64 million people, if I'm not mistaken, saw the presidential debate.
It's a lot,
That's
man.
the number I saw. It's not the biggest of all time. The biggest debate of all time was the Trump versus Hillary Clinton one back in the day. But I believe this was a top 5 watched debate of all time. The memes that are coming out about killing the dogs.
Eating cats and stuff, man. I was like, damn.
Brutal, dude. Absolutely brutal.
I liked it how everybody was quick with it, though. Like, you went to social media, and that was everywhere. Mark your pet safe from being eaten. But the presidential debates always give you some gold, man, for social media. You'll see it right afterwards nowadays, dude, or even during the debate. They're already posting memes and stuff. It's all funny, man.
Congrats to the Las Vegas Aces. Asia Wilson broke a WNBA single season scoring record. So we talk about all the things that Caitlin Clark has been doing with her new team. Fact of the matter is that Caitlin Clark is not going to be the MVP. Stop.
Oh no, man. She's going to be Rookie of the Year.
She will be, and she deserves it. She'll be unanimous Rookie of the Year. Asia Wilson should be unanimous MVP.
She's
and not even and you're gonna have all these Caitlin Clark fans coming out say, "Well, they're being haters." No, Asia Wilson is having a historic career, most points ever scored.
Numbers don't lie
in a season. She's also in the top 2, if I'm not mistaken, in rebounding. Asia Wilson is amazing. She's playing for a team that has a better record than Caitlin's team. Now, Caitlin Clark had a horrible game, lost to Asia Wilson's team. They lost to the Aces yesterday. Fever lost 86-75. Caitlin Clark had a bad game. Was shot 1 for 10. Now she did continue her streak of 15-5 games, 15 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists rather. But Caitlin Clark 1 for 10, coming off 1 for 10 after being outed as a Kamala Harris supporter.
Oh God!
Did you see that?
I saw, man.
Yeah, she liked the post that Taylor Swift did.
Yeah, look at this. JHNSB put, that's too bad Angel Reese isn't durable enough to last a whole season,
dude,
man.
She missed the last 4 games, dude. She played 36 of 40 games. What do you mean not durable enough?
Look at Jesse A. Happy B-Day to rightful winner of the baddie bracket, Sydney Sweeney.
Is it Sydney Sweeney's birthday?
I bet you know who's not going to wish her a happy birthday? Chris Leha. He calls her Midney.
Oh, she is 27 years old today.
Yeah.
Let me see if there's any Instagram.
Oh, man. See the cochinos. We better take that off.
It's not cochinos, man. I mean, but Sydney Sweeney's celebrating her birthday, so it just kind of is what it is. Sydney Sweeney, people debate her talent level. I think she's super talented. I really do. But she is a very good actress. She's a pretty face. And I don't care what our boy Chris Leha says from MCS General Contracting. She's a dime. Absolute dime. She's super talented.
There she is.
I'm calling her Midney. Get out of town.
Chris Leha, man. To each his own.
And what does she do in her spare time as a hobby?
Fix cars, man.
She fixes cars. She's a mechanic. Very, very nice. Lots of videos of her online on YouTube of her fixing cars and, doing all the things that she does, with the overalls on and all that. Happy birthday to Sydney Sweeney.
Fun little nugget that I found here right now on the X. Ezekiel Elliott just became the 3rd player in Cowboy history with 80+ touchdowns. Total touchdowns. Yep.
The dude's washed, man.
And he says he joins the likes of Hall of Famers Emmitt Smith and the great Tony Dorsett.
Going to take a look at some last news and notes here about the NFL. Let's see here. Oh, by the way, did you see that our homegirl Annie Agar has a new podcast?
Oh yeah, no.
I got to check that one out. I haven't seen it yet.
The Hawk Tua girl just dropped her new episode. They said that was pretty good.
Talk Tua?
They said it was pretty good.
I like her, man. I like her a lot. I don't care what anyone says.
What's her name again?
I don't remember.
I don't remember what her name was, but
here's some information here. The Saints sent their players home this afternoon, so they had to cut short practice because of Hurricane Francine.
Oof.
So
yeah, man. You know what?
Get some extra rest.
That's a bad deal there because the thing is you don't want people getting hurt or injured, right?
Right.
So they come to practice, and then the weather probably turned because of all the rain, tornado warnings and whatnot, low water crossings. Because you're in New Orleans, dude. You're already below sea level. Doesn't take much for the place to flood. Let your guys go home and get safe.
Did you see this? Tom Brady on Fox Sports has released his power rankings. He has his own power rankings, apparently.
Oh, Lord, man.
Tom Brady has a top 5 going into week 2.
No Cowboy?
He does have the Cowboys in the top 5.
Yeah,
he has number 1, the Kansas City Chiefs. He has number 2, the 49ers. He has number 3, the Detroit Lions. And number 4, the Dallas Cowboys. And number 5, your Houston Texans, your Sancha team.
Sancha team,
also
man.
in the top 5.
Hey, you know what I'm going to tell you, man? We didn't talk about this, but how do you think Tom Brady did in the booth?
He did okay.
He did all right. I mean, he was a little nervous.
He was a little bit nervous, but I think he has a personality. For so long, we believed that he didn't have a personality, but just like the Spurs under Pop back in the day, they were not allowed to display their personality then. But you heard all those stories that Tom Brady was somebody who was loved in the locker room and that was funny and that was approachable. And now he's going to be able to show that when it comes to like the broadcast booth. He just needs some time to get better, more comfortable, more himself when it comes to it all. Joe, I got to go sling those investments and insurances, my man.
Yeah, I got to get me some lunch.
I
man.
may or
I'm
may
hungry.
not be here tomorrow. I know Fernandez will be here.
No, actually, he's not going to make it. He got called in to work.
Okay, well, if I have to do the show, I will do the show either here or out of town, wherever I'm doing client meetings tomorrow. And then we'll have Johnny Walker, hopefully on Texas Longhorn Great.
The great Mr. Walker, Johnny Walker.
Sam Celine is saying that Haley Welsh is her name.
Oh, yeah, that's the
Haktua girl. Everyone have a fantastic day. Sorry for the technical difficulties as the show started.
YouTube tried to cancel us, man.
But Shay, got to keep your phone locked, my man. Good job. See you guys tomorrow.